with the Real Estate Management and Sales Division of the Department of Neighborhood Development. The vote concerns a tentative developer designation and intent to sell to Oxbow Urban LLC, vacant land located at 21, 22, 28, 37 Angel Street and 1214 Lawrence Street in Mattapan. The purchase price for all these properties is in total $600. Before Bernard Mayo presents the vote, I note for the record that Commissioner Irish is recusing himself from voting. He has a residence on Angel Street, and his recusal from voting is just to dispel any appearance of a conflict of interest. No conflict exists, but I've provided legal guidance for him to recuse himself from discussion and voting on the matter. As a result, Chair Craven and Commissioner Mamoli will be the two members of the PFC who will be hearing and voting on this matter. Bernard, if you would present your vote request.
Good morning. I'd like to request PFC approval for the tentative designation of Oxbow Urban LLC for these parcels on Angel Street and Lawn Street. The 6 parcels totaling 33,871 square feet are part of our neighborhood housing initiative and will create 8 home ownership opportunities, 4 market rate and 4 affordable. D&D conducted an extensive public process which resulted in this vote request. A community meeting was held at Lena Park on March 23rd, 2017 to discuss development of these parcels. The RP was issued June 26th and was advertised in the Central Register on June 28th and in the Boston Herald on June 26th and July 3rd. Oxbow is the only development team to apply for the RFP, and they did meet our eligibility criteria. On November 6th, we held another meeting at Lena Park to introduce Oxbow to the community. Based on the community feedback and our review of the proposal, we wish to recommend the tentative designation of Oxbow Urban LLC. I've also included a few handouts. This is the map of the Angels. That was the map of the Angel sites. This is the photographs. Go to the next one. Is these are the 2 lawn sites, the map and a photograph. If this vote is approved, it will result in the following benefits: revitalization of 6 underutilized vacant parcels, 8 new home ownership opportunities, creation of more than 14,000 construction hours, which will generate jobs in the building trades. The City of Boston will receive an additional $15,000 in annual tax revenue, and the city will save over $5,000 in maintenance costs. Any questions?
I have no questions.
I have no questions either. Good job. Nice
Thank you,
together.
Bernard. Hold on, we're going to vote on this.
Motion?
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Bernard.
Thank you.
Vote number 1 is approved. Vote number 2 is being presented by John Feuerbach. He's a Senior Development Officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of the Department of Neighborhood Development. The vote concerns a conveyance to Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation. This is for vacant land located at 9 through 11 Bromley Street, 13 through 17 Bromley Street, 19 Bromley Street, 21 Bromley Street, 58 New Heath Street, 60 New Heath Street, 62 New Heath Street, an unnumbered address at New Heath Street, 894 to 900 Parker Street, and 908 Parker Street. These properties are located in Jamaica Plain. The purchase price in total is $1,000. John, if you'd present the vote request.
Thank you. Good morning and hello. My name is John Feuerbach. I'm a Senior Development Officer in the Neighborhood Housing Development Division at Department of Neighborhood Development. On behalf of DND, I'm here requesting PFC approval of a conveyance to Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation for the 10 parcels that were just outlined in the vote package. Just as a quick refresher background, DND conducted an extensive community public procurement process that resulted in this vote request. We held 3 community meetings in April of 2014, June in 2014, and July in 2014, which led to a request for proposal that was issued in October of 2014. It was due in December 2014. We advertised it in the State Central Register in October 2014 and in the Boston Herald in October on 2 dates, October 6th and October 13th, 2014. And then just recently, in anticipation of the conveyance vote, we advertised in the City Record on consecutive dates, October 30th, 2017 and November 6th, 2017. Jamaica Plain NDC was the sole applicant to the request for proposal, and they met all request for proposal eligibility criteria. On the basis of our review, we invited Jamaica Plain NDC to a community meeting on March 5th, 2015, and their proposal was overwhelmingly supported. So subsequent to that, on May 6th, 2015, PFC approved the tentative developer designation of Jamaica Plain NDC, and then furthermore, on July 20th, 2016, and April 14th, 2017, PFC approved 12-month extensions of the tentative developer designation. The vote request includes a comprehensive memo about the project and the PFC request. And I also want to note that the commission vote request included some handouts which are shown here. The first is, actually that's the second one, but the first one is a aerial view of the site. Gives a good location where the site is. And then the second is some basic building elevations, the building that would be built on the site. So in summary, if the Public Facilities Commission approves the request for the conveyance, it will result in the following public benefits: 47 rental housing units, all of which are affordable. And one further note is they're going to be deeply affordable. And what I mean by that, of the 47, 20 will be at or below 30% of area median income. 20 would be at or below 60% of the area median income. And then we have an additional 7 units that would be at or below 70% area median income. So this is something we consider to be very important given the pressures on affordable housing in that part of, in Boston and in that part of town. They'll be deed restricted and they'll remain affordable in perpetuity. The conveyance and will enable the project to revitalize the 10 city-owned properties that we've been talking about. Currently, they've been underutilized. And the building and the development will occur at a very well-traveled and very visible site that I think will be a dramatic transformation for the neighborhood. So I think that's going to be an excellent public benefit. The project is expected to generate approximately 61,000 construction hours, which will generate jobs among the building trades. There will be also long-term financial benefits to the city as well. By removing these parcels from the city's inventory, the city will be able to eliminate the future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining these properties. And we're talking about snow maintenance, snow plowing, property maintenance. By passing on the responsibility to Jamaica Plain Neighborhood Development Corporation, we're looking at approximately $12,000 of savings in that regard. And then also, if we're talking about increasing annual tax revenue, we're looking at approximately $25,000 that the city will receive in additional tax revenue. And just quickly, timing-wise, if the vote is approved, we look to close on the land as well as D&D and other public and private financing and commence construction in April of 2018. We're looking at an approximately 14-month construction period, so things should be in place probably in the spring of 2019. I'm here to answer any questions if you have any on the request.
Thank you, John, for your very thorough overview of the project. This is really exciting.
I agree totally. I have no
Yeah.
Any questions,
If I could
Dean?
sorry, if I could just add one thing. They did, I don't think you mentioned it, but they did receive all of their state funding, which is, tax credits and soft debt and perm debt. So it's really good news for us.
It's amazing
Yeah.
to have it at this stage. Thank you
Very
so much for your
impressive,
work. Yeah.
Great job. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
John.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Vote number 2 is approved. Vote number 3 is being presented by Ryan Lundergan. He's a Housing Development Officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. This is an amendment to the vote of July 20th, 2016 to extend the tentative designation and intent to sell period from 24 to 48 months to Indigo Block Apartments LLC. This concerns vacant land located at 65 East Cottage Street in Roxbury. Ryan, if you'd present your vote request.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
My name is Ryan Lennergan. I'm a Development Officer from Neighborhood Housing Division. I'm requesting PFC approval for the extension of the tentative developer designation of Indigo Block LLC for 65 East Cottage Street, the parcel identified in your vote package. We're requesting an extension of 24 months to allow the developer to apply for the upcoming Department of Housing and Community Development funding round. Due to a high demand for limited DHCD funding for affordable housing, much like many of our projects that are rental projects looking for low-income housing tax credits, they apply multiple times to the DHCD funding round. It's largely in part due to the high demand for limited DHCD funding. Although all projects are very very well put together and very strong projects, the high demand does require many of our projects, and quite frankly most of them, to go into the funding round multiple times. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and the PFC vote request. I provided 2 handouts for you. This project contains multiple components to it. The first component is residential. That will create 89 residential units, 54 of which are affordable. Included in the first handout there is a design of the residential building. The second handout is a picture of the light industrial commercial building that will be located on the site. In summary, if PFC approves this vote request, it will result in the following public benefits: 89 residential units, 54 of which are affordable. The project will create 20,000 square feet of commercial space, is expected to create over 154,000 construction hours, which will be generated jobs among the building trades, and it will return the property to the tax rolls. The city can recoup an additional $71,000 in annual tax revenue. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ryan. I have no further questions. Thank you for your very thorough overview of the project and the extension and the need for the extension.
I'm just more trying to remember from history. Did they apply for a MassWorks grant? when
They
this was
did,
first
and they,
approved, and they didn't
excuse me,
receive
they weren't awarded it this year. It's impossible to predict with certainty, but we do expect them to be much more successful at the state in this upcoming round.
My other question is not specific to this project, but more of how's the effect of the changing of the tax laws going to affect affordable housing in Boston?
It's a great question, and it's keeping us up at night. The Senate bill kept the low-income housing tax credit program intact. I think, though, the lower corporate rate will impact their yield and their desirability. So we're watching that very, very closely.
No further questions.
I make a motion that we approve.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vote number 3 is approved. Vote number 4 is being presented by Ryan Lundergan. Again, he's a Housing Development Officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. This is a conveyance to Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation. Vacant land located at 131 and 133 Southern Avenue in Dorchester. The purchase price in total is $200. Ryan, if you'd present your vote request.
Thank you. I'm requesting Public Facilities Commission approval for the conveyance of 131 to 133 Southern Ave to the Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation for the parcels identified in the vote package. These two parcels are located in the Dorchester section of Boston. D&D conducted an extensive public process that resulted in the tentative developer designation vote request. It was on December 16th, 2015, which PFC approved, and that was for the development of 16 homeownership units. These two parcels are combined with abutting parcels that are currently owned by Codman Square Neighborhood Development Corporation. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request. The first site map that you see here are the two parcels that are owned by D&D, 131 and 133 Southern Ave. The second handout is a design of the duplex units that'll be included in this package. And the third is a picture of the design of the single family homes that will be included in this. These are comparable to the Neighborhood Homes Initiative program. We've been working closely with them on their designs. They've actually filed with the Zoning Board of Appeals and have gone out to bid their project that's ready to go. This will create 16 affordable units, so all the units in the package will be affordable, half of which will be at 80% of area median income, and the other half will be at 100% area median income. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ryan. I have no questions about this. Any?
Good presentation, no questions?
Thank you, Ryan. I make a motion that we approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. Vote number 4 is approved. Vote number 5 is being presented by Christopher Rooney. He's a Housing Development Officer with the Real Estate Management and Sales Division of D&D. The vote request concerns a tentative developer designation and intent to sell to a nominee comprised of principals from Castle Rock Properties Incorporated. This concerns vacant land located at 2 unnumbered parcels on Violet Street, 523 Norfolk Street, 36 Gooddale Road, 11 Holmesmer Street, an unnumbered parcel on Holmesmer Street, and 9 Leston Street. These properties are all located in Mattapan. The purchase price in total is $5,554. Christopher, if you'd present your vote request.
Good morning.
Morning.
On behalf of D&D, I'm here requesting PFC approval of the tentative developer designation of Castle Rock Properties, Inc. for the parcels identified in the vote package in the Mattapan neighborhood of Boston. D&D conducted a public process that resulted in this vote request. A community meeting was held on April 4th, 2017 to discuss the development of these parcels as part of the Neighborhood Homes Initiative program. A request for proposals was issued on July 10th, 2017 and advertised in the State Central Register and Boston Herald. 2 development teams applied to the RFP and both were determined to meet eligibility criteria. Based on D&D review of all eligible applicants against the RFP evaluation criteria, we recommend the tentative developer designation of Castle Rock Properties, Inc. In particular, Castle Rock Properties has demonstrated excellent experience and capacity, design and construction outcomes, and financial capacity. Castle Rock Properties has demonstrated its ability to develop NHI projects, having recently completed the construction of 8 units in the Hiawatha, Mattapan, Faulkner, and Walk Hill NHI project. Castle Rock Properties presented a comparable development timeline, submitted a reasonable development budget, and has good relationships with several lenders. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request. I've also provided handouts related to this vote request, which are displayed on the screen. The slides include site maps and images of the sites. The first are the 2 sites on Violet Street. The next are the site at 523 Norfolk Street, 36 Gooddale Road. Next, the Hosmer Street site and the Lesson Street site. In summary, if PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits. 11 total new housing units, including 10 home ownership units and 1 rental unit. Of the total units, 3 market rate home ownership units and 1 market rate rental unit, 5 middle income home ownership units up to 100% of the area median income, and 2 moderate income home ownership units up to 80% AMI. The affordable units will be deed restricted and remain affordable for 50 years. The project will revitalize 7 parcels of underutilized vacant land in the neighborhood. The project is expected to create 18,331 construction hours, which will generate jobs among the building trades. The sale of these 7 parcels can also be expected to yield long-term financial benefits to the city. By removing these parcels from its inventory, the city will be able to avoid future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining these properties. The city also stands to save an estimated $9,000 in annual operational costs, such as lot clearing and snow removal, et cetera, after the sale of these parcels to Castle Rock Properties. And in addition, by returning these properties to the tax rolls, the city can expect to recoup approximately $40,876 in annual tax revenue. I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Christopher, for your thorough presentation. I have no further questions. Any?
Neither do I. Very good presentation.
It's another great job. Thank you. Make a motion that we approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Christopher.
Thank you. Vote number 5 is approved.
Chris?
For clarification for the record, vote numbers 6, 7, and 8 are all being presented by Jonathan Spillane, who's a housing development officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. These votes are all part of one publicly advertised RFP. Jonathan's going to present each vote individually to the commissioners, but I note for the record just that fact that these votes concern one publicly advertised RFP process. So I'll begin with vote number 6. This concerns a tentative developer designation and intent to sell to Habitat for Humanity Greater Boston Incorporated, vacant land located at 725 to 727 and 729R Parker Street in Roxbury. The purchase price for these properties is $200. Jonathan, if you'd present your vote request.
Thank you. Good morning. On behalf of the Department of Neighborhood Development, my name is Jonathan Spillane. I'm a housing development officer in the Neighborhood Housing Division of the Department of Neighborhood Development. To begin, I would like to reiterate and to highlight that the parcels in vote number 6, number 7, and number 8 were all included in one RFP called the Terrace Parker Gore Package. The RFP was issued after D&D conducted an extensive public process, which resulted in the RFP's issuance. The RFP included 3 packages that outlined specific use and development criteria for each package. Given it was one RFP, public procurement process was the same for all 3 packages and 3 vote requests. 3 separate community meetings were held to discuss the development of these parcels. The community meetings were held on June 9th, July 21st, and November 10th, 2016. After receiving resident support, D&D issued the RFP on March 17th, 2017, with an RFP due date that was April 28th, 2017. The RFP was advertised in the Boston Herald on March 13th, 2017, and March 20th, 2017, as well as the Central Register on March 15th, 2017. Now I'll be going into detail for vote number 6. I'm here requesting approval for the tentative developer designation for 725, 727, and 729R Parker Street in Roxbury to Habitat for Humanity, as outlined in the vote package. 3 development teams applied to the RFP. 2 were determined to be ineligible, and Habitat for Humanity was determined to meet the eligibility criteria. The preferred developer was then introduced at a community meeting on June 27th, 2017. Based on community feedback and D&D review of all eligible applications against the RFP evaluation criteria, we recommend Habitat Humanity's proposal. This recommendation is due to Habitat having an exceptional track record of past performance and experience, evidence of their financial capacity, and Habitat's proposal including 2 affordable homeownership units, and Habitat's exceptional plans for these parcels. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote requests. I have also included handouts. The first slide depicts a aerial view of the, parcel map of the parcel. The second map, the second image shows an aerial view of the parcel. The third is a frontal view of the present vacant lot. And the last image is a projected view of the completed project according to developer plans. In summary, if the PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits: the creation of 2 affordable home ownership units, which was supported by community residents, the units which will remain deed restricted for 50 years, the revitalization of 2 parcels of land, which have been in the city's inventory for the past 27 years. The project is expected to create 3,827 hours of construction work, which will generate local job opportunities. The sale of these 2 parcels can also be expected to yield long-term financial benefits to the city. For by removing these parcels from our inventory, the city will be able to avoid future costs and liabilities associated with the maintenance of these properties. The city stands to save an estimated $5,227 by passing on responsibility for property maintenance to Habitat for Humanity. Finally, in addition, by returning these properties to tax rolls, the city is expected to recoup an additional $13,200 in annual tax revenue. I'm here for any questions you may have.
Thank you for your thorough presentation. Do we have any questions?
Questions? Thank you, Jonathan. Make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you. Vote number 6 is approved. Vote number 7, being presented by Jonathan Spillane. This vote concerns a tentative developer designation and intent to sell to Z Capital Investments, LLC, vacant land located at 21 to 23 Wensley Street, 53 Wensley Street, in an unnumbered parcel on Fisher Avenue. These properties are located in Roxbury. The purchase price in total is $207,000. Jonathan, if you'd present your vote request.
Thank you. Again, as noted earlier, the public procurement process was the same for vote 6, number 7, and number 8. For vote number 7, I'm here requesting approval for the tentative developer designation for the parcels located at 2123 Wensley Street, 53 Wensley Street, and an unnumbered parcel on Fisher Ave in Roxbury to Z Capital Investments, as outlined in the vote package. 2 development teams applied to the RFP, and Z Capital Investments, LLC, was determined to meet the eligibility criteria. Z Capital was then introduced at a community meeting on June 27, 2017. Based on community feedback and D&D review of the eligible applications against the RFP evaluation criteria, we recommend the tentative designation of Z Capital Investments, LLC. This recommendation is due to Z Capital possessing experience and capacity, evidence of financial capacity, and the including of the provision of market rate home ownership in the proposal project, and lastly, for the overall plans for this parcel. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request, and I have included handouts. The first slide depicts a parcel map of the parcel. The second image depicts a front view of the parcel from the Wensley Street side. Please like to highlight the steep grade of the parcel of land. The third slide depicts a view of the parcel from the Fisher Ave perspective to the left, and to the right, another front view from the Wensley Street perspective. And then the last image is the projected view of the completed project according to developer plans. In summary, if the PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits: the creation of 9 new market rate home ownership units, which was supported by community residents; the revitalization of 3 parcels of land, which have been in the city's inventory for 72 years, 28 years, and 26 years, respectively. The project is also expected to create 70,000 777 construction hours, which will generate local job opportunities. The sale of these parcels can also be expected to yield long-term financial benefits to the city. For by removing these parcels from inventory, the city will be able to avoid the future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining this process. The city stands to save an estimated $8,511 by passing on responsibility for property maintenance to Z Capital Investments. Finally, in addition, by returning these properties to the tax rolls, the city can expect to recoup an additional $51,588 in annual tax revenue. I'm here for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Jonathan. Duly noted that one of these parcels has been around since World War II.
1945.
It's amazing. So there's been a lot of maintenance over the years by the city that we will no longer have to do.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any commissioners have any questions? Or
You will note that this is a market rate proposal. The site is so, it's such a steep parcel that it would be very, very difficult and very expensive to build affordable housing here. So I think the team, working with the community, made the right decision that it's really a market rate, market-driven sale.
That's great.
Excellent. No question.
Make a motion that we approve.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vote number 7 is approved. Vote number 8, presented by Jonathan Spillane. This concerns a tentative developer designation and intent to sell to Terrace Bravo LLC, vacant land located at 40 to 42 Terrace Street and 132 Terrace Street. The properties are located in Roxbury. The purchase price in total is $200. Jonathan, if you'd present your vote request.
Thank you, Angela. Again, as noted previously, the public procurement process was the same for votes number 6, number 7, and number 8. For vote request number 8, I'm here requesting approval for the tentative developer designation for 4042 Terrace Street and 132 Terrace Street in Roxbury to Terrace Bravo LLC, as outlined in the vote package. 3 development teams applied to the RFP, in which 2 were determined to be ineligible, and Terrace Bravo LLC was determined to meet the eligibility criteria. The preferred developer was then introduced at a community meeting on June 27th, 2017. Based on community feedback and D&D review of Terrace Bravo's application against the RFP evaluation criteria, we recommend the tentative designation of Terrace Bravo LLC. This recommendation is due to Terrace Bravo LLC's proposal, scoring highly with respect to the RFP evaluation criteria, including having strong experience and capacity, evidence of financial capacity, including affordable homeownership units in the proposal project, and also including artist residential and workspace in the proposed project, an important RFP element which was supported by neighborhood residents. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about the project and PFC vote request, and I have also included handouts. The first slide depicts a parcel map view of the parcel. The second image shows an aerial view of the parcel. The third image is a frontal view of the present vacant lot at 4042 Terrace Street and a rendering of the completed project according to the developer plan on the right. And the last slide is a frontal view of the present vacant lot at 132 Terrace Street and a rendering of the completed project according to the developer plan. In summary, if the PFC approves the vote request, it will result in the following public benefits: the creation of 13 affordable homeownership units, the provision of artist living and work housing. These units, which will remain deed restricted, affordable for 50 years. The revitalization of 2 parcels of land, which have been on the city's inventory for the past 44 years. The project is expected to create 17,070 construction hours, which will generate local job opportunities. The sale of these 2 parcels can also be expected to yield long-term financial benefits to the city. By removing these parcels from our inventory, the city will be able to avoid the future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining these properties. The city stands to save an estimated $5,167 by passing on responsibility for property maintenance to Terrace Bravo LLC. Finally, in addition, by returning these properties to city tax rolls, the city can expect to recoup an additional $29,007 in additional tax revenue. I am here if you have any questions.
Thank you once again for your very thorough presentation. I have no further questions. Any from the commissioners?
No question.
No, I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan.
If I could just make one quick note, when you see a tentative designation, the elevations still need work, certainly. We don't like blank walls, and so, it starts the process of working
Yeah.
with the developer. Okay.
So we're going to
Just didn't want anyone to cringe.
rendering of the
Yes.
actual finished product.
It needs
but-
work. And so I'm sort of sitting here going, I hope you know that we will be working with them to improve the
Yeah.
designs.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, on to
Right.
vote 9.
Vote number 9 is with William Epperson. He's an Assistant Director for the Real Estate Management and Sales Division of D&D. The vote request concerns a delegation of authority to the Director of the Department of Neighborhood Development. The request is to allow for the continuation of an implementation of the Remnant Program, which is known as a sub-program of the Yard Sale Program run by D&D. The agenda goes on to highlight the specific authority noted in the PFC Enabling Act under Section 3F. In the Act, the PFC has the authority to delegate any of its powers or functions to any department or officer within the City of Boston. And under that delegation of authority, that officer has the ability to exercise and fulfill the roles and responsibilities delegated by the Commission. I ask William Epperson to please present his vote request.
Thank you, Angela, and good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
I'm here before you today to give you an update on the department's Remnant Program as it was last presented to you in June of 2016. As a quick summary, the Remnant Program targets small city-owned remnants for sale to abutting residential property owners. To qualify, parcels must be assessed at less than $2,500 and be less than 2,000 square feet in size. Eligible purchasers must be an owner of residential property that directly abuts the remnant, and they must be able to pass the department's financial eligibility review known as LOOPS. When approved, parcels are conveyed for a nominal $1 and consolidated with the purchaser's primary property. At the June 15th, 2016 meeting, we presented 39 parcels that met the requirements of the program. Since then, we've closed on the sale of 15 of those initial parcels, totaling approximately 3,000 square feet, and they ranged in size from as large as 500 square feet to as small as 10 square feet, with a combined assessed value of $18,700. An additional 24 parcels totaling approximately 5,600 square feet with a combined assessed value of $23,800 have been targeted as the next focus of this program. All of these additional parcels are less than 1,000 square feet in size and assessed at less than $2,500. D&D is requesting a delegation of authority to sell various parcels of foreclosed vacant real property subject to the guidelines of the Remnant Program as presented to the Commission. As a matter of precautionary housekeeping, we're requesting the designation be effective June 15th of 2016 and remain effective until amended or rescinded by the Commission. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I think this has been a very successful program. Thanks to you, Sheila.
Yes, and they're not buildable. They've been in our inventory. They're really very just odd little pieces of land that we've acquired. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
I agree, totally been successful. Now, can you ask other city departments to transfer land to you so you can get rid of those
Okay,
too?
we'll take it.
We're
You guys
happy
have
to
been
take
great
it.
lately, so.
I noticed in your slide, there's a lot that's on Minot Street that's been in inventory since 1946. Did we get
Yes.
rid of that one yet?
We
or-
did get rid of that one, yes, we did get rid of that one, yep. So,
Yes. No questions. Thank you for your presentation. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
great,
Thank you,
very
Chief.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Vote number 9 is approved for the record. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.